I just wanted to show a close-up of these beautiful crochet dogs. Some of these toys I have from the Puppy Love 5K run I did for the animal shelter. They make great gifts to put with your crochet dogs. So there's a separate video tutorial for the crochet boxer dog. This video tutorial is just going to show you the differences for the white crochet boxer dog. And then for the crochet boxer dog, there's a separate video tutorial for the cowboy hat. When you go to that video tutorial, I show you more of some of the accessories that I put onto this crochet boxer dog. This white crochet boxer dog fits a large pet outfit as well. And I named her Princess, and this is her dog collar. This one is Athena. So she's also has a separate video tutorial, the crochet boxer dog, the same one as the cowboy boxer dog. There's also a separate video tutorial where I show you the differences to make this crochet boxer dog. I named her Brindle. And there's a separate video tutorial for her tutu, the crochet tutu dress that she has on. And she is a bank. So you can actually put money inside of her as a bank. And I show you the differences that I did to do that. And then also her bow has a separate video tutorial, and I show you how to make her bow. There is also a separate video tutorial for this crochet dog bone. I show how to place a zipper onto the dog bone, and you could place toys inside. So you can see that for my white boxer, I start the same way and sew the top roll over the snout the exact same way. The only difference is this is white instead of the black colored. And then I sew it the exact same way, curving down each of the sides. And then just sewing each side of the roll in place on the snout. So you can see how I'm curving it down and then sewing it in place with my tapestry needle. And then I'm going to sew it the exact same way on the opposite side so that you're forming an upside down U. This is what mine looks like after I finished sewing it. You can see how I left a few rows not sewn to the roll on both sides of the snout. Just let those hang there. Now you can create the ridge along the back. So you just kind of fold it over on itself, and I usually leave the bottom part just like that. Then I just take my same colored yarn, and then I'm just going to come up. And you could form your ridge all the way down if you want to. It's up to you. For mine, I left it open a little bit, and you can always sew it more as you sew it to the panel, the front panel as well. So you can see how I'm just kind of creating a ridge along the back, kind of a little wrinkle, and then I'm just going to tie a knot on the wrong side, and then I'm just going to put a few stitches in the ridge to hold its shape. You're going to put more stitches in when you're sewing it to the panel, so you don't have to worry about it being perfect at this point. Just creating a little bit of a ridge to hold it in place. and then you'll put even more stitches when you add it to the front panel. So you can see how I'm just kind of going in and out with my tapestry needle, sewing the ridge in place, and then I'm just going to create the ridge to the same point that I did on the opposite side to keep it symmetrical. So now I'm going to show you what changes I made for the front panel. This is the back panel, and I'm using the back panel to measure where the snout is going to come up. So I'm going to have about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 rows up above. So the color changes I'm going to make at a lower level. I'm going to show you how I do that. The eyes, I'm only making one black patch, the same as I did in my other boxer video tutorial. So it's going to be placed the same way, but I'm going to have a color change behind it. So I'm going to show you how I made that. I used 15mm Suncatcher craft eyes, but I would recommend the 18mm. I just like the larger size better, but I only have the 15mm. So I'm working on my front panel, and what I did was I put yarn markers in where I would like to have the color changes. So I'm going to leave the center white, and then I'm going to place pink on this side, and then the honey colored brown on this side. So if you want to make yours the same color as mine, go ahead and count in 6. So here is the first stitch on the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I put the yarn marker into the 7th stitch, and then I counted on the opposite side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then placed the yarn marker so I can see where I'm going to have the color changes. So make sure you have the right side facing you so that you know where you would like to place your color changes. Again, I'm going to have the honey colored here, the white colored yarn here, and then the light pink colored yarn. So now I'm ready to add my honey colored yarn. I just finished my last single crochet into the last stitch. Now I'm going to go ahead and hook the honey colored yarn and bring up a loop. Make sure you leave enough of a loose yarn end. Then go ahead and yarn over and chain 1. Then you can go ahead and tie a knot. So just cut your previous colored yarn. Then tie your knot. Then you're going to go ahead and chain 1 again and turn your work. You're going to leave your loose yarn ends hanging. Those are just going to go on the inside with the stuffing anyway, so you don't have to worry about having to bury those. Then you're going to go into the next stitch over. So you're not going to go into the base of the chain 1 stitch. You're going to go into the next stitch over and make a single crochet. Then you're going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch up to the yarn marker. Then you can go ahead and drop the yarn, take out the yarn marker, go into the next stitch over, and then you're going to bring up a loop with your white colored yarn. So go ahead and get your white colored yarn. You're going to bring up a loop, and again you want to make sure you leave enough of a loose yarn end. Then you're going to yarn over and then go through both loops. Go ahead and pull your loose yarn end through. Then you can go ahead and tie a knot to the gold colored yarn. Then you're going to make one single crochet in every stitch to the next yarn marker. So this is how my work looks so far. Now I'm going to bring the white yarn towards me. Go ahead and remove the next yarn marker. Take your crochet hook, go into the next stitch over. Then you're going to bring up a loop with your pink, light pink colored yarn. Then just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and then go through both loops. I'm going to try something real quick. Let me see if I can bring that loose yarn end forward. Let's see. So I'm going to bring this loose yarn end forward, actually just through here. Then I'm just going to yarn over and go through both. Then you can tie your knot with the light pink and the white colored yarn. Then just let those hang as you finish making one single crochet across to the end with your pink colored yarn or light pink colored yarn. Then when you reach the end, go ahead and chain one. Then you're going to turn your work. You're going to go into the next stitch over. Make a single crochet, and then you're going to make one single crochet in every stitch except for the last pink colored stitch. So I have one more stitch, which is the pink colored stitch. I'm going to drop the pink colored yarn. I'm going to pick up the white colored yarn. So I'm going to go into the next stitch, bring up a loop with the white colored yarn. Then I'm going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through both. And that's how you're going to make your color changes. So you go into the next stitch over and make your single crochet, and then you're going to make one single crochet in every stitch except for the last stitch of the white colored yarn, and then come back. Now I'm at the last stitch of the white colored yarn, and you're going to do the exact same thing that you did for the pink portion. You're going to go into the next stitch and then bring up a loop with your honey colored yarn or gold colored yarn. Yarn over, go through both loops for a single crochet, and then you're just going to go into each stitch, making one single crochet in every stitch. Then chain one, turn your work, and then always remember where the wrong side is and where the right side is. You don't want to mess up the right side. So this is my right side that I want showing on the dog. Then on the other side is the wrong side where the loose yarn ends are going. And then you just keep making your color changes. I'm going to show you this last row, how I make the color changes. So here I have my last stitch of the gold. So I'm going to leave the yarn on the wrong side, pick up the white yarn to continue. So I'm going into that last gold stitch. I'm going to bring up a loop with the white yarn, make my single crochet, and then just continue on making one single crochet in every stitch to the next color change. So I'm just going to work this row with you so you can see how I make my color changes. So here I have one stitch left of the white colored yarn, so I'm going to bring that forward, pick up my pink colored yarn, go into that next white colored stitch, bring up a loop, make my single crochet, and then continue on with my pink colored yarn. Just making one single crochet in every stitch across to the end. And that's how you make your color changes. You just repeat that until you get the colors, the number of rows that you need. When I start getting towards the top and almost finished, come back and I'll show you how I stopped the pink colored portion. So now you can see that I'm getting closer to the top of the back panel. This is the front panel, so I'm just laying it on top of the back panel to kind of see where I want to make my color changes. The one thing too, this one is a softer baby yarn, so it won't have the same stitch as the red heart. So if you wanted to have the same size stitch, then you can use a light pink in the red heart, but this one is still working, as you can see. But what I'm going to do for the next few rows is I'm going to start tapering off the pink portion. So I'm going to show you how I did that with mine if you wanted to do the same thing. So now I'm at the pink portion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the next stitch of the white colored yarn, bring up a loop. Actually, I'm going to bring up a loop with the pink colored yarn. But I'm going to go behind the white colored yarn because I'm going to carry the white colored yarn instead of dropping it. So I'm going to bring up a loop with the pink colored yarn. Meanwhile, I'm going to be carrying the white colored yarn as I crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the pink colored yarn through both loops. Then I have the white yarn laying across so I can crochet around it. I'm going to go into the next stitch, go behind the white colored yarn, bring up a loop, yarn over, go through both for a single crochet, and then I'm going to continue making one single crochet going behind the white colored yarn as I crochet across. This will add bulk to the pink colored yarn as well. Then I'm going to chain one. I'm going to bring the white colored yarn across the back as I turn my work. You don't want to bring it across the front to the right side because it'll mess up your design along the front. Then you're not going to go into the stitch below your chain one, you're going to go into the next stitch over. And again, I'm going behind my white colored yarn and carrying that with me. As I crochet, go ahead and give the white yarn a gentle tug. Make your single crochet, and then you can see you still have a nice straight edge along the side, but I'm carrying my white yarn along with me. And this time I just went ahead and made a single crochet into my last pink stitch. You can create your pink design however you want for your dog. You can continue with the same method that we were using. It's up to you. Go ahead and drop your pink yarn. Then you're going to pick up the white colored yarn and then continue just like you did before. And then when you get back to the pink colored portion, come back and I'll show you how. I'm going to make one more row and then I'm going to finish off on the pink colored portion only. So here you can see how I have one stitch left of the white colored yarn, and I'm kind of moving my pink portion over just a little bit. So now I'm going to carry the white yarn again. I'm going to go into the next stitch. I'm going to go behind the white colored yarn. I'm going to drop it, pick up my pink colored yarn, bring up a loop, and I'm going to carry my white colored yarn with me. And then I'm going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through both loops for a single crochet. Then I'm going to go into the next stitch over and just carry my white colored yarn with me as I finish making one single crochet into every stitch across. And then this is where you can check and see how your pink colored yarn looks. So here is the right side of the work. You can take your snout, place it, and you can see how the work is going to look in the background. And then also with the back panel, I can see how many rows that I have left. So for mine, I just have a few rows left. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off my pink colored yarn. So I'm going to take and yarn over with the pink colored yarn only, and then finish off. Pull enough yarn through to tie a knot and leave a loose yarn end. So I'm just going to tie a knot with the white colored yarn on the end. Then I'm just going to take and turn my work. I'm going to go into that last stitch on the end. I'm going to bring up a loop. You can chain one. That's your stitch on the end. Then go into the next stitch over, bring up a loop, and then make your single crochet. Then continue with your color changes with the golden colored yarn and finish up the rows for the front panel. And then I just wanted to show you that towards the top, if you don't want this routine look with the stitch, you can change it up here towards the end. So for mine, I'm going to make one more single crochet with the white colored yarn. Then in the next stitch, I'm going to drop the white colored yarn and pick up the honey colored. And you can see how it'll change the stitch pattern that way if you wanted to change up the look. So here I just want to show you another trick that I had. So I want to change colors now. I'm going to go into the next stitch, drop my white colored yarn, bring up a loop with my honey colored yarn, make a single crochet, then go into the next stitch, and before you go into that next stitch you can kind of give a gentle pull on the white yarn and the gold yarn, and then that kind of cleans up the stitch a little bit with the color change. This is my last row, so I just wanted to show you how I finished off. I'm just going to take and go into the next stitch, but first bring the yarn forward, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop with the next colored, the white colored yarn, next color, Then yarn over and go through both for a single crochet. Then you can take and gently pull on the gold colored yarn and then cut, leaving a loose yarn end. Go ahead and tie a knot with the white colored yarn. Then you can drop the loose yarn end of the gold and then continue into the next stitch. Make sure you don't miss the next stitch and make your single crochet. And that's how you finished off on the gold. This is what it looks like on the right side. Then when you finish the last single crochet for the row, go ahead and finish off. Make sure you leave enough of a loose yarn end so it won't come undone. And then you've just finished the front panel with the color changes. So now I just want to show you the order that I finished making the face. The snout, of course, is made the same as my crochet boxer video tutorial. The first thing I did was sewed the bottom of the snout to the front panel, making sure that it's centered. Then you're just going to lay the snout how you think it's going to be sewn down after you stuff it. Then you're going to place the eye how you want it, and this eye is made exactly like my crochet boxer video tutorial. And then the only difference is I just placed the other eye, making sure that they're even and on the same row directly onto the front panel. And then this is what it looks like on the back side. So the safety latch is here on the front panel for the one eye, and then the safety latch is on the black panel for the other eye. Now you're ready to make the rest of the dog the exact same way as my other video boxer video tutorial. For Princess, I just wanted to show you a close-up of the eyes. I took my tapestry needle with the black yarn, and then I just created a design around the left eye. And then also on the right eye, I also took my tapestry needle with some black yarn and created a little bit of design around the regular rectangular piece that I showed in the boxer video tutorial. So if you like this design, you can also create this look for your crochet boxer dog. Also, I just wanted to show you that I did place a white centerpiece over the nose and forehead, just like I did for my other boxer dogs. So you can see what that looks like if you like that design. Here's the tongue, close-up of the tongue. I show you how to make the crochet tongue for that. So one of the things you want to do is make sure that you have your snout sewn on straight and correctly. So I just want to go over how I sewed my snout on. Again, I started with the bottom, then I placed the stuffing and folded it up and centered the nose and sewed this top portion. Then I lined up and sewed the eye portions. Then I went along the side and sewed the snout, leaving a little bit of a ridge loose, and just sewed down, making sure that none of the stuffing can get out. And then I did the same thing on the opposite side, being careful to make sure that each side looked symmetrical or the same. So this is what my finished front panel looks like with the snout sewn on. Then you could see, you can always go back later and make sure that none of the stuffing is coming out. You can see how I sewed and left a little bit of a ridge on both sides of the front panel. The other difference is for the ears for the boxer dog, I decided to put a pink inner portion for the dog ears. So you can see how I just took my tapestry needle and just sewed it in place, and then it's sewn on exactly the same as for the regular boxer dogs. If you like this look, you can make it this way. The inner ear is made the exact same way as the outer ear. If you like how I added the tongue to the dog, I'm going to show you how I made the tongue. For this tongue I used Karen's Simply Soft, the watermelon color, but on video tutorial I'm just going to show you with Red Heart Super Saver, and this color is baby pink. For the tongue I used my 4mm crochet hook. We're going to start with the magic circle. Just take your yarn, drape it across your 4 fingers. Use your thumb to stabilize. Wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers. Hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. Then take your crochet hook, go under those 2 loops, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through that loop for a slip knot. Then you're going to place 6 single crochet into the magic circle. Then just take your forefinger and thumb, hold the base of the 6 single crochet. Then you have those 2 loops on the opposite side. Pull on one. If it doesn't close, let go and pull on the other one, but this one's closing it up. Then take the loose yarn in and pull on that. Then you're just going to take and we're going to work back across the loop that we just created. So go ahead and turn your work. Then you're going to place 2 single crochet into the next stitch. Then you're going to place 2 single crochet into each stitch across. Then you can go ahead and finish off. Just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to sew the tongue onto the dog. And then you have your tongue. And you can pull on that loose yarn end to close up the center of the magic circle. But then you just take your tapestry needle and then just sew this in place on your dog. The clip in her hair, this is a real dog clip, so it just comes right off, it unclips, and you can remove it. This is what the clip looks like and how it went right through the crochet. I'm not going to take it off. She also fits a medium-sized, actually this is a large-sized pet outfit. This one is by the American Kennel Club. So this pet outfit will actually fit a real large dog. And then here's a close-up of her dog collar. And then her name tag, Princess.